time to do a brief little map review of Vigil. Vigil is a faster map than any of the other payload maps. You see a relatively shorter times, so you're not going to be holding too many points for too long. Keep that in mind. Okay, so first thing you need to know about defending. Holding first is something that we generally don't do too hard. You can hard hold up here if your team decides that's what they want to do. It's a little bit unreliable though, so I don't really recommend it. If you die here, you're going to have a weak hold on second, so don't commit too hard, I would recommend. But this is only if your team really wants to hold aggressive. Otherwise, what most teams end up doing is holding in a passive position back here. Whether it's going to be a little bit more aggressive here, so you can wrangle a little bit and deny a little bit more space. You do take a little bit more spam in that position. Usually, teams put their gun a little bit more passive in this little kind of hallway right here. And then the dispenser will either go up against this wall right here, or where I usually put it is back here. Tellies don't really matter too much because each point has a spawn door pretty much at the point, excluding first. And you don't really hard hold first. If you are playing the hard hold first, usually like right here is a good telly spot. But if you're not hard holding first, then usually it doesn't really matter, because by the time that like your team decides to die, you're backing up to second anyways, and there's no need for a telly to be at first. And again, your spawns are right here, so like you don't need one for second, you don't need one for third, and you don't need one for last. So now that you know that tellies are out of the way for defense, as soon as you have to get back, I usually put my gun on this platform. Usually this back corner platform where it watches the most of cart. I can still watch a little bit of hill, and I can wrangle to watch side tunnel. Dispensers usually go up against this shack right here. And tellies don't really matter, but if you wanted, you could put a telly exit right here, or entrance doesn't really matter. It doesn't even need to be active. It's something for your heavy to stand on and then head glitch if they want, or they can also just allows people to crouch jump up onto the cliff area. So all those are options. Generally what you're doing in the downtime is just looking for spies and bombers. High bombing is a thing on this map, so you do have to be careful for the skies. Watch side tunnel if you need to. Generally just look around. These spies, they go up there, right here, back here, in this space, and behind the shutter. If for instance, if this is the best spot, but if you need to get a little bit more passive spot is back here. If you need a little bit more build time, you can also do it right here if you don't want it to be shot by cart, but you want to shoot hill. You can also put in shutter if you want a little bit of surprise, and open the shutter when you want to shoot things. Those are all options, but the best spot is just on this platform. Usually in this back corner is where I like to put it. And yeah, that's it for holding second. Holding third. Dispenser usually goes up against this wall, usually far enough away so that stickies that land around here do not damage the dispenser. Your medic will use it to block any damage to come in, as well as just a safe place to quickly get ammo. Gun, you can either put a gun up on this crate, where I usually like to put it. It is a little bit more vulnerable to snipers and spam from back here. You can wrangle to kind of affect that distance, but generally it's great for being hard to sap and denying cart as they go up this hill. I've gone on like a 5k from that spot, so it's pretty good. You can also just move the gun onto the tracks if you don't feel comfortable with that position. This is a spot back here if you're really passive, but usually like around this kind of, in between this line and this part of the hill is usually where I like to put it, if not on the crate. It's not vulnerable to the spam over there, but still watches this end cart a little bit and lets my team back out pretty safely. If you're not great spot, but it's passive right here. This doesn't watch cart at all, but it's pretty passive enough if their team is going flank. So if you don't like this position, you don't like that position, this is an alternative. But again, the spot I would recommend is just up here. Okay, and tellies aren't really useful here in any reason, so yeah. And also keeping track of metal packs. isn't too important here. There's a medium right there, which I use a lot. Otherwise, just resub. Especially if you have a resub bind, it makes it a lot faster. And yeah, let's go into last. Let's say you get back up into last. Guns usually go on this crate. This is the most popular spot by far at the moment. Watches everything, and it can be hard to spam out. And it's out of the way from the rest of your team. The dispenser depends on where your team holds. If your team holds left in this corner, in that corner, if they hold right, put it against this wall. And if you don't want like either of those spots for your team, or you don't know where the fuck they're gonna play, you just put it behind your gun. That's probably the safest bet, and you can use it to hop up and just get on your gun if you'd like, as well as right in the middle, so if your teammates need to rotate, they can quickly grab ammo before rotating to the other side. Tellies aren't really important, but they can be used on this point to put like an entrance there and exit here. The point is that if this is only good if your heavy plays on this crate. In higher divs, this is more of the meta now. So you have your heavy play up here. If they have to back off, they can take your telly and instantly go up back onto the crate instead of going all the way around on their little stubby feet. Just a little quicker option for your heavy to do. But yeah, those are all the placements for defense. Let's go into offense now. Staying on engineer class. So I like to put my telly entrance, usually a UK telly, right here. It's out of the range from most danger, and once you cap first, this is the door that most players come out of. Otherwise, you just push cart like you normally do. If you already have time to on cart, you can probably help flank. Clear out this entire house. Make sure there's no hiders. Watch for the sightline right there, since snipers can stand back here and have a sightline on you, so do be careful when crossing. You can check under to see if there's any hiders. If there's not any hiders, you can advance this way. A mini right here, that Wrangle's over here. Wrangle at the passive spot can be good to pressure them out. If they're hard holding, you can try to just hold this position, or you can try to play more on this side. This would probably be safer if you're just looking for a passive option. But yeah, so once you cap first, you can either have your mini support uphill in this spot, up on this crate, or just somewhere in this yard. What I like to do is put my exits right here. I used to put it in this corner back here, but I found out it can be really easy to spam out here, and it can be unsafe for your team. Put either your splits on this side or this side, doesn't matter. Both those are really good, depending on who's going to be using it. And usually you just play tunnel with your mini here to support you as you push cart through here. That's it. When you cross outside of this tunnel, watch for people playing this rock and watch for people hiding on this rooftop. Make sure to check corners for any hiders, spidey cloaks in this corner, as well as anyone coming side tunnel. There's a medium health and medium ammo right here if you need it. Usually you will not be playing side tunnel. That's more your soldier or your scout if there's beam on him or something. Then yeah, you just come out on tracks and cap. And yeah, so that's offense on that point. What you need to know from there, you have a forward spawn right here. You put an entrance here if you like, and then the exit usually goes right around this corner right here. I put my dispenser across this wall because combos tend to, especially in lower divs, they tend to push around the tracks area. This is going to be a quick passive spot for them to get ammo reliably, as well as a little bit of health. But usually just ammo, because it'll just be level 1. And then the cart, when it crosses this corner, it'll be too dangerous to reach towards. So do be careful. Usually I don't really like playing with combo. If we are doing a push, you can put minis across here. Either just have them passive or wrangled. Anything works. Otherwise, you can support your flank by rotating back here, crossing. There's a little window if that helps you see what's happening. And either play with my sniper in here, help him get some shots, make sure he doesn't get backstabbed by a spy. Otherwise, I'll rotate even more to help my soldier, scout, or sniper if they plan to go back here. Get a little passive mini to support any players trying to peek this way. Like if you have a soldier trying to peek this angle towards them, usually I'll be around to support them. Or if you yourself want to do a little bit of damage, you can build your mini on here and then just wrangle. All those are valid options. Otherwise, something I have done, no, not the aggro, like right here, build a mini here so it's already ready. So when there is an Uber, I'm not taking the same damage as they are when they're turning the corner, but I can quickly place down my mini and then just scan cart and push, and I'm in position without taking the same damage when rotating. And I have a little mini to back up whatever play I'm making. So, yep, that's third. Going into last. First thing you need to know, there's yet another forward spawn. It's this room right over here. 2 exits. This you just put your entrance here. Exits can go. There's a passive spot. Oh, I built my exit at spawn. There's a passive spot right here. You can do a more aggressive spot right here, or back here. The more aggressive it is, the more at risk your teammates are at being spammed out when they take it. But the more distance it does cover, so always consider that. Careful when putting tallies around here, because crossing this is technically a sight line, so, and they can shoot your feet. For our minis, you can either put minis in the main, put your minis on this rooftop. This is always a very good passive position to help your flank, and anyone that tries to overextend onto your flank through this big door. Otherwise, you can put the mini more aggressively, peeking into last, and then you just wrangle them from here. This is a very good option. You can try to help your flank a little bit if needed on trying to take this platform. All those are good options. Usually a passive gun until you're ready to get aggro. Just playing on this rooftop is safe for most playstyles. Interesting to know, level 2 head glitches about right here over this platform. So if you want to try utilizing leveled guns, definitely something you can do. As overextending, as players trying to stop your cart, they're gonna get caught out by this gun. But yeah, that's essentially how to play Vigil.